The pick is in.
The San Jose Sharks have made their second selection in the 2024 draft. I'm Rachel Dawkins, joined by JD Young of Locked On Sharks to break down the Sharks selection of Sam Dickinson with the 11th overall pick presented by Indeed. There's no I in team, but there is one in Indeed, and that's the hiring platform you need to build yours. To upgrade your job, post at Indeed.com/lockedon. So when we talked about Celebrini, we talked about them needing some balance here in these picks, and I think you got it with Dickinson, right?
Yeah, Sam Dickinson. We knew the Sharks were coveting a defenseman after trading up from 14 to 11. And Sam Dickinson, who I don't think the Sharks thought would be there at 11, becomes the pick. He's a 6'3" left-handed defenseman who can do it all. He has the field of a very safe pick, but if he kind of hits his ceiling and his potential, the Sharks could be looking at setting up their best offensive player in Macklin Celebrini and now their best defensive player in Sam Dickinson. And he was an instrumental part of the London Knights playoff run, was kind of playing in all situations for them. And I'm really excited about this pick for the Sharks as they have now added two massive pieces in Dickinson and Celebrini.
Yeah, he was a huge part of that London Knights Memorial Cup run, getting to the final in that tournament. And I think the biggest question for me about him is the Knights are a super team. And how much of it is Dickinson and how much of it is the team around him in London?
Yeah, that's definitely a fair question, and especially with London, like they had Oliver Bonk, who was a Flyers pick last year. But I think that with Dickinson, you see the tools and the way he plays the game. I think there's some consistency issues, especially like one night he'll play really well defensively, but maybe not as well defensively or offensively, and there's some consistency issues. But I think for the Sharks, especially when you've already picked Celebrini, getting a guy like Dickinson kind of just feels like the cherry on top of the ice cream here for San Jose as they're kind of knee deep in their rebuild. And they needed some more defensive prospects as Shakir Mukhamadullin is really their only kind of guy that you can see to be a top four NHL player. So I think Dickinson jumps to the head of the Sharks defensive prospect pipeline, and for a team that I think really, really coveted one and made the move up to try to put themselves in a position. I don't think they imagined Dickinson was going to be here. I assume he feels like a Mike Grier type of player, where he's big, he's kind of in your face, he has a competitive attitude. But I think playing on London, he's going to continue to grow and develop next season.
And, given that he was almost unexpectedly available to the Sharks and he is a left-handed shot, like how does that fit with the depth on the left side for the blue line in San Jose?
Or like offensive defensemen are all left-handed. You have Shakir Mukhamadullin, who they got in the Timo Meier trade, the left-handed Luca Cagnoni, who they drafted in the 4th round last year, went up to have 90 points in the WHL and expected to be on the Barracuda next year. All their offensive defensemen are on the left side, so they just might flip-flop everything and just have their defense run from the left side, and then all their right side guys tend to be a little bit more defensively responsible. So I think they still want to try to add some more pieces on the right side. I would expect them to do that early in round 2. But again, getting a guy like Dickinson, who I know he's left-handed, but he's just a good player, and the Sharks just need more good players at this point.
Absolutely. All right. Well, for more on the San Jose Sharks, subscribe to Locked On Sharks on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
Sam Dickinson's a safer bet to make the NHL than almost any other prospect in the 2024 NHL Draft. But how high is his upside? I'm Hadi Kalakash from Locked On NHL Prospects, ready to give you the breakdown. Dickinson's a 6'3", 195-pound left-shot defenseman who played for the London Knights in the OHL. He played consistent second-pair minutes on arguably the best team in the CHL and put up 70 points in 68 games from the blue line. The cornerstone of Dickinson's game is his skating. He uses it defensively to close gaps ridiculously well in transition, and offensively, he's never never afraid to carry the puck up the ice or join the rush. He's got confidence in spades, and he's very aggressive at both ends of the ice as well. The hope with Dickinson is that he learns to read the game at a higher level and hopefully adds a layer of poise on both sides of the puck, because if he does, he'll go from a safe second pair defenseman to a bona fide top pair two-way guy. For more on Dickinson and all things NHL Draft, follow and subscribe to Locked On NHL Prospects on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
For continuing coverage of the 2024 NHL Draft, subscribe to Locked On NHL on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.